Gears to our nation's capital. So the franchise tag window opens today, and the Redskins have until March 1st to decide whether to use that on Kirk Cousins. So after playing the 2016 season under the tag, Washington would prefer to work out a long-term extension with its starting quarterback this offseason. Cousins would receive close to $24 million if Washington opts to use it. A third straight franchise tag would mean paying him $34.5 million in 2018. They could still work out a long-term deal after franchising Cousins. Max, what would you do? Would you franchise him or give him the long-term deal?
I'd probably give him the long-term deal at this point because there aren't a lot of quarterbacks out there right now, and Washington is a talented team. It's not like they're without talent, and Cousins is a solid quarterback. Now, I don't know that I would pay him like a franchise quarterback, but this is what seems to be emerging in the NFL right now. Franchise quarterback means you ain't looking. You're done. You're good at quarterback. A starting quarterback means we're okay. If something amazing comes along, maybe we'll look at that. But for now, we're okay. And when you think about it, if he avoids injury and you keep franchising him, you're likely to wind up paying him more than you will in a long-term deal anyway. The guarantee for Osweiler was only $37.5 million. Cousins made more than half of that last year. He does it again. He already beat Osweiler's guarantee in 2 years.
Here's my thing. I have no problem with a long-term commitment to Kirk Cousins. I have a problem with the money. When we start talking 100, 125 million, and by the way, that's a point I forgot to bring up with Mr. Waddle here in terms of Jay Cutler, $126 million. I don't give a damn that it wasn't all guaranteed, only 50 plus was guaranteed. The notion that $126, let alone $126 million gets associated with Jay Cutler really irks my nerves. Having said all of that, let's be clear. Kirk Cousins, this is a guy that passed what? Completed 67% of his passes, passed for 4,917 yards, his second consecutive 4,000-yard season as a starter in Washington, having not missed a single game over the last 2 years, 32 games. He's played all 32 of them. Kirk Cousins has proven to me that he deserves the team saying, okay, if Brock Osweiler is out there getting $70 million with $37 million guaranteed, et cetera, you deserve something. My problem is when you say $100 million, you're calling him the franchise.
Right.
And I don't believe he's earned the right to be a franchise quarterback. Last year, I'm going to repeat this again, and you tell me to put on my reporter hat, that's what I'm doing. Last year, in the throes of Washington's struggle, I got calls from numerous dudes in that locker room that said, we like Kirk. Great guy, damn good quarterback. Don't pay so much attention to the numbers, because he will pad his stats. And is he really playing to win, or is he really playing to pad those numbers? There have been times when I've watched the Washington Redskins, and Kirk Cousins has come up small in big moments. Not always, but it has happened. And there have been other times when they were out of reach, they were losing, and somehow, some way, prevent defenses kick in, and you padding up your numbers that way. Those are the kind of things that I'm looking at with Kirk Cousins. I'm looking for the Kirk Cousins that shows up consistently in big moments and tells me and shows me that the word franchise deserves to be attached to his name other than a franchise
That's
tag.
the difference to me also between him and a franchise quarterback. Let me see you get it done with the money on the line. I haven't really, listen, other people could argue, well, the money's always on the line, and if you're a starting quarterback, you know what I mean. Highest leverage moments, I haven't seen it from him. And if you need 8 yards for a first down and you throw for 6 and you're punting, it doesn't help you much.
That's a good point, because that's exactly what Kirk does sometimes.
And Elway tried to address this in the Osweiler situation. There should be a middle class for quarterbacks. You're not a scrub, but you're not Tom Brady either. You're somewhere in between. And Osweiler
a solid quarterback.
Osweiler's not that.
No, Kirk.
But I'm saying Osweiler's not that, but he got paid like that. Cousins is that. Cousins better than a guy like Osweiler, but he's obviously not Tom Brady.
You know what else, too? I'd give Kirk Cousins the house if it were Denver. Why? Because I have Emmanuel Sanders, I have Demaryius Thomas, and I have a defense that's elite, and I have John Elway. And so under those circumstances, okay, that's all I need. I'm good. But when you call Kirk Cousins a franchise, you're talking about building something around him. And I don't know if he's earned that yet. As much as I like him, and I do appreciate the fact that he seems committed to Washington and wants to stay, I do have my questions about him being a $100 million man. I got questions about that.
It appears the team wants to give him a long-term extension, so we shall see. This next topic, It's going to be good. OJ up for parole this summer, but are the guys okay with him being released early? And